Time travel within one's own lifetime is possible, according to Dr. Sam Becket and Admiral Al Calavicci. They developed the time travel technology, and behold, it worked. After a test leap into a test pilot and a detour into a baseball player, Sam has been thrown across uncertainty in time and space to a pervy Fraser and a bum Palooka. He was supposed to go back home already. Well, maybe worked is kind of a leap. The Fantasmagorium show proudly presents In the Loop, a quantum leap celebration. I am Scotty R37. Antiderivative Jill is here, and Steve will be calculating the odds on how Ziggy gets us out of here. Hey, Jill.
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. How are you?
Doing very well.
Excellent. Very, very good. Do you have a channel or anything?
Yes, I do have a channel by the same name, Antiderivative Jill, and I love to talk about all types of science fiction. And so far, I've covered all of the Orville, working my way through Star Trek, and also UFO.
See, and I still have to get a grasp on what UFO is. You've explained it to me, but I still have to see it for myself. It's kind of like the Matrix. So, but with as being a Star Trek fan, you are you're very well versed in time travel.
Yes, and the rules for time travel in Star Trek are pretty different from the rules here, where you're able to travel through one timeline, and and the rules, the butterfly effect is not as serious here because things are being controlled by some kind of metaphysical force.
Well, and yeah, this is sort of the two episodes that we're going to be talking about this evening, Star-Crossed and The Right Hand of God, are very, very almost Highway to Heaven, as I mentioned last week. They're very sort of reverential to the religious.
They are.
So I'm looking.
Both include Catholicism.
Well, there are nuns in one of them.
Well, in both of them, but one
Is
more
there a
than
nun
the
in the
other.
first one?
Yes, they're at a Catholic all girls Catholic school in the first episode.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, that makes sense. Now I know why he's a pervy Frasier.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, right. He definitely he definitely takes a downturn in his life over the 6 years that he becomes a professor.
Well, I think he was just sort of. Anyway, we'll get into the morality of what Jerry later. Anyway, so, but no, you're absolutely correct. There is a difference in terms of the butterfly effect and the effects of time travel throughout this. You've referred to it as being more science fantasy than science fiction.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
especially because of God playing an element of changing when Sam is supposed to go leap, and Ziggy having to analyze quantum physics in order to guess what God's playing at.
Well, and also, I don't know if you ever saw any of the Phantasmagorium shows, Bullets, Blade, or no, not Bullets, Blades, Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns. We did the James Bond retrospective, and there were many times that Kat and I said, this is very much of its time. So going back and watching a television show from 1989 from sort of a 2022 perspective, you do have to sort of look at it as being of its time. Now, at that time, there was like you had your Jim Bakers and Jimmy Swaggarts, religious forces, if you will, and there had to be some sort of balance as if you were time traveling, what are the metaphysical effects? And I think that these two episodes really encapsulate the differences. Please tell me that was a bidet.
No, that was somebody drinking.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I will do so as well. Cheers to everyone in the chat. Before we get to the chat, I apologize. I was ranting for a moment there, wasn't I?
No, that was a very interesting point. I hadn't even considered the televangelists at the time having any kind of effect on this show.
Well, and I'm just saying that there is. If you're saying that you're making something better through time travel and the science, which I'm really interested in, And the council, they introduce a council that is in charge of Quantum Leap.
Yes, that control the funding and control whether or not Al's allowed to help Sam.
Yeah. Like, and so there are, when they're playing fast and loose with the butterfly effect, like they're kind of, that's what the council is for, and Al is subverting that. But I'm like these two episodes are very interesting to me on a just who is Sam Becket and do we trust him?
Yes, it seems like the original Sam knows a whole lot more, obviously, than our Swiss cheese Sam, who is a lot more innocent of the the quantum leap project itself.
Well, and he doesn't know anything about the technical aspects, but he does know. Well, he does know. Anyway, we'll get into it when we get through
He
the
knows, but
episodes.
you have to unlock his knowledge by triggering his memories.
I have a lot of holes to poke in this show. I love it so much just because of the morals and the O. Henrys at the end. Like both of these episodes have sort of a oh, that's what they did. And so like
Oh,
there is a manipulation of time at the end of both episodes through future knowledge.
yes, and sure, in major historical events.
Yeah, in major historical events, or at least adjacent to them. Anyway, as I mentioned before, I did want to go say hello to the chat, and that would be Black Philip Alvarez. Hola, amigos. See, this is
Hello,
what I. No, Jill, please.
hello, Black Philip Alvarez, and also hello to Just Carol.
Hey, Carol's here. The legend Scotty, hello. And the legend Carol, thank you for being here.
And Carol is the Force.
I was talking to Carol earlier, and there's a Cagney and Lacey thing, and she said that you were Lacey. Is that cool?
That is cool. I still need to see this Cagney and Lacey television show to really determine how much I agree with it, but yeah,
And you can
I
join
do
in
like that.
next week when we start our new podcast, the Cagney and Lacey Retrospective. I will play the part of Al Waxman. Stephen Amore, or sorry, not Stephen Amore, different Stephen. Stephen Ransom is here. Hello. Hey, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen
Thank,
Ransom.
thank you so much. So, would you like to? Oh, no, before, oh, I almost forgot, and I wish I had. I have Quantum Leap news.
Oh, yes, right. You watched the new Quantum Leap, didn't you? And also, I wanted to say hello in the chat to Pleasant Valley Picker CA.
Hello. Cagney and Lacey is great. Well, see Pleasant Valley Picker next week. Get your streaming happening, and you can be Al Waxman. It'll be great. Actually, you know what? I think you just have to watch the original opening, but I've said that before.
Mhm.
Anyway. Oh, and I would be remiss if I did not direct everyone to this website that we have that we're going to be renovating soon. We're cleaning it up. We're going to clean the carpets and give it a coat of paint. But just to let you know that it is there and give it a go. We have it because we have shirts. If you would like something that you want to clean and then try and explain how to pronounce the Fantasmagorium. It's very difficult to read on its own, but it is coming up to sweater weather. But if you don't want to watch anything, then you can just go to the streamelements.com/phantasmagorium show dot slash tip. There's no dot there at the end. So now that that is out of the way, this has been brought to you by clicking buttons. Shall we go to the episode?
Sure.
This
Well,
is
the new episode, right?
yes. So it's Ben Song is the new Sam Becket. He's not Sam Becket. Quantum Leap has been on hold for
Since Sam's been missing.
since he went away in like 1993, I guess. The year is 2022. So the future of Quantum Leap is this year. The Quantum Leap is happening currently. Ernie Hudson is there, and it turns into a sort of an NCIS kind of future lab that they have. But in the past, Ben Song is assisting in a jewel heist, but he has to make sure that the guy who is part of a jewel heist doesn't die because he has a wife and child. So then you so it turns into Law and Order or NCIS or something, and it's a very procedural cop show with puzzles and things. And then also the hologram from the future is Ben Song's fiance, and they were partners in the Quantum Leap show. So there's like an unresolved sexual tension between them because Ben has Swiss cheese head and
Also,
but
it's like a sitcom where nobody's being honest with each other.
no one is ever. No, it's no. It's just, you know what? It's so very convoluted and not as sort of straightforward. Why is he here? What is he going to do? You don't get the Leaper and the hologram dynamic in the new show, which is, what am I doing here? We're figuring this out. I'll be back. And you have a charismatic hologram while you have a very earnest character trying to do the right thing. And they balance each other out with a go here, do this in the original. In the new one, it's like almost like, remember that board game when you had to get the pieces into the holes fast enough before it ejected?
Yes, yes, I do know what you're talking about.
What was that
The,
called? Someone in the chat should look it up.
yeah, you put these little shapes in there, and if the timer goes off, and you don't have all the shapes in there, they pop out. I know what you're
Exactly.
talking about.
I don't know what it's called either, but that is what the new show feels like. And it's not as, I don't know, character driven. It's much more perfunctory and putting shapes in holes as opposed to telling a story of characters and why it would actually make their lives better as opposed to, well, your wife and child are going to die. Well, that's bad. But he is a guy who's in like a jail heist. Like, or no, and it's, I don't know, it's a very strange situation. It's not morally forward, it's more problem solving across the board. I
The
don't
name of
know.
the game is called Perfection.
Hey, and that is what Quantum Leap, the reboot from 2022, in my opinion, is not. Can we talk about good Quantum Leap now?
Yeah, because it sounds like the new one is less focused on like the characters, like you said, and more about.
It's like a crime. It's like a crime drama as opposed to being sort of an exploration of character roles in life. I don't know. There's something that is kind of magical when I watch Quantum Leap, although I'm going to poke some holes tonight.
It
But
sounds
there's,
more like the new TV show is about the team saving Ben rather than Ben.
that's it. That's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. They're trying harder to figure out how to get Ben home than they are. Like, it's not about Ben trying to save people. It's about the team trying to figure out why he quantum leaped in the first place, which is really well referenced in this second episode or the third episode that we're watching tonight, where Sam is more concerned about the course of people's lives as opposed to the bureaucracy behind the scenes.
Right.
Too
And
much?
no, no, it's great. Well, there's a committee in this episode, but they're invisible. We don't see them, and
No, I know. It was cool though. Did you like that effect?
yeah, that's some good acting from Dean Stockwell for
All
sure.
right, well, let's not talk about the episode. Let's talk about the episode.
Okay.
Or is there, do you want to actually, wow, I'm really behind in the chat. Should we get to the chat before we do the episode?
Why not?
Okay. Stephen Ransom says, hello. Pleasant Valley PvP, can I join? Pleasant Valley, if you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. The only problem is, have you seen episodes 3 and 4 of Quantum Leap? If the answer is no, then I must sadly decline. Pleasant Valley says that Jill is much more Lacey for sure. See, I think Carol's the authority on this one.
I think so too. I trust her.
Yeah, exactly. So do I. Black Philip Alvarez says, "Don't worry, Scotty. I've mistaken Stephen Ransom for Amore too." Well, it's really up to Stephen Ransom whether or not he's okay with it. And PvP has accepted, and thank you. I apologize. There was no cover letter. Oh no! Do you want to go down this rabbit hole? How long? How much time do you have?
Well,
Ple- it's up to you.
it's up to you which chat's you're going for.
You're the one who said to talk to the chat more.
Well, I do want to talk to the chat more.
Pleasant Valley says this thing is Lacey has a hubby and kids, so Jill, of course. That I don't know. I've never seen. I don't know if Lacey does. So I'm kind of done with
Okay,
the Cagney and
we can
Lacey.
move on.
Hey,
Weird.
Rebellious Pastry is here. You made it to 500. Congratulations. Way to
Congratulations.
go. That's super fucking awesome. I'm sorry for the swears, but I was excited. That's fantastic. I'm going to start starring the chats as well. That's probably a good idea, right?
That's a great idea. And it's okay to be selective
Thank you.
as long as we say hello to everybody.
Well, and that's the thing. And I think I've said hello to everyone so far. Oh no. Stephen Ransom is just shooting out the names of board games now. Was it Chutes and Ladders? Was it Candyland? Was it Mousetrap?
It was perfection.
It was perfection. Carol got it. Oh,
Yeah.
heavens. And while I do appreciate everyone in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and star you, and that is where we will pick up when we come back. But we are here to talk about Quantum Leap. Am I right?
That's right.
So shall we?
Yes. The first episode is called Star-Crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written by Deborah Pratt and directed by Mark Sobel. And the leap date in this in universe is June 15th, 1972.
Yes, I have questions about that as well. So we have Sam leaping into. This is the opening. Oh, there is a thing that I did want to say, but I'm going to save it for the second episode.
Okay.
All right. But this is an amazing opening, and I'm just going to go into it more at the beginning of the second episode.
Well, all right. This just has some years and some moments of history flashing by in the title.
This is the opening credits to Quantum Leap, and all I will say is probably in my top 5. I was going to go 3, but I'm going to say top 5 opening credits of all time.
Yes, and this is the first time we get somewhat of an explanation about what happens to Sam and how he gets help from Elle.
Absolutely.
And this is basically the one that we see all of season 1, except for in the finale.
Yes, this is basically the opening credits are a clip show to the first 2 episodes. With pop culture references scattered throughout. There's a picture of JFK, and and also big shout out to Donald P. Belisario for creating this and so many other things.
Yes, thank you to him.
See ya, PvP. Thanks for being here, man.
Yes, thank you.
So we leap into. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who are we? There he is. That's
An English literature professor named Gerald.
yes. This is okay. So Sam leaps into Jerry, as we will learn to love him, and he remembers. He says, Why am I standing in front of a room full of women who are all looking at me like I'm Tom Cruise?" Now
Yeah.
I heard that, and I was like, how do you remember who Tom Cruise is? He has Swiss cheese brain, right?
Well, true, but you never know when he's going to remember something, and it's a possibility he just remembers. And he has earned the admiration of the majority of his students, and here he's explaining Wuthering Heights, the plot to that, and the theme of obsession in the book.
Yes.
And honestly, in college, I chose to take world literature instead of English literature. And I'm really glad I did, because I got to read really cool stuff like Lysistrata and Dante's Inferno. And so I never read Wuthering Heights, but I did read a brief synopsis of the novel, and it didn't really sound that interesting.
I've never read Wuthering Heights, and actually, it took me far too long. Like, okay, so if I was Sam Beckett and I leapt into this, I wouldn't
Hmm.
know what Wuthering Heights was, really. The only reason I know Heathcliff is because of the cartoon cat.
Yeah, same. Yes, but from the synopsis, I'm much happier that I learned about the nine circles of hell instead.
Oh, yeah, much more interesting. And also, Terry Hatcher is in this episode.
Yes, Terry Hatcher from Star
Lois
Trek.
and Clark. Oh, and Star Trek, absolutely. She was in The Outrageous O'Connor.
Yes, playing with Billy Campbell.
Hmm. My second favorite pairing with Billy Campbell. But yeah, so Sam is actually he's saved by the bell. He is ending the class in regards to the obsession, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh wait, oh, and then there's this lady. What's her name?
Her name is Jamie Lee.
Jamie
And she's
Lee. I
one of the
forgot.
most annoying characters in this episode.
I really have an appreciation for Jamie Lee, and I'll explain it when we
Oh
get there.
dear.
I know. So anyway, all these ladies are all over this guy, which you would be until you see his face. Because don't forget,
Right.
Sam Beckett does not look like Sam Beckett to these people. Sam Beckett looks like whoever he
Yeah.
leapt
Yeah.
into.
So this class makes more sense if he actually looked like himself.
Yes. Oh, Jamie Lee giving the side eye. That'll come later.
And for some reason, Sam doesn't isn't too fond of some of the '70s culture, including hippies and flowers and beatniks.
Well, don't forget, in the 80s, it was kind of frowned upon. The 70s were sort of like a counterculture decade. If you were like in your, I don't know, there was a certain level of poo pooing on the 70s. Like you think of disco and things like that.
Right. And the mantra was "Disco is dead."
Yes. So we're at a school, and apparent. Look at that fugly guy.
Hmm. And it gets
Anyway,
worse.
it does get worse when you see him in 3D, ladies and gentlemen. Then Jamie Lee shows up and says, "We made sweet, sweet love.
In the
We
bell
should do it
tower.
again sometime." They're like, "What's going on here, Jill?
Well,
You're a lady. What is she doing?"
oh God, she is severely attached to this man, and it's no accident that the theme of the class was obsession, because that's exactly what she has here.
It's also the theme of the episode, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
So she's totally in love with this guy, and as you would be if it looked like Scott Bakula. But she's very like Southern Belle. But wait, there's Lois Lane,
Yes, Sam sees Donna Elise, a woman that he was supposed
Alice, I
to.
think.
Oh, Elise, sorry. A woman he was supposed to marry, except that she ran away. Or wait, she never showed up at the altar. I'm sorry.
No, 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 it's fine. So she ended up like this is Donna Elise. Sam recognizes her instantly. Um,
Yeah, and that gives the episode a parallel thread,
it
um,
does. Yeah.
because he ends up
Sorry.
saving the happiness of in the lives of two women and their future relationships. And we get the mirror reveal for the professor. And as bad as his identification was, that's just how much worse he's gotten over the 6 years he's been professor at this university.
Like, what a perpetually hungover looking man.
Not just that, look how greasy his hair is. It doesn't look like he's taken a shower in a while.
No, he's clammy. Like, I've never seen a person who looked clammy before.
And I don't really understand why all his students love him. All he seems to be doing is reciting literature. But
No, that's true.
I
Well,
don't.
and yeah, yeah. This guy's a scuzz. She thinks that he's great. Sam doesn't get it, which is
I,
great.
well, she's insane, so that helps.
It does.
She's so full of cheese, except the cheese is rancid, and anyone who gets too close will die from the exposure.
Oh my stars. So okay, so tell me what you really think about Jamie
It is
Lee.
painful to watch. That
Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
that is how great of an actress this Leslie Sachs is, because
Yes.
she is nauseating. She's so insane that at first it doesn't bother her that people want to kill Jerry. Second, and worst of all, she believes it's a good idea to get into a suicide pact
Yeah.
when there's like a cross communication with Al.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because we're still getting used to the idea of the hologram showing, like when Al shows up, and then Sam is like he's waiting for advice, and when she's like talking about Romeo and Juliet and all that jazz, and it's like you don't want to do that, do you, Sam? You have to tell her. I know what's going on. Tell her. I thought it was great. So anyway,
I
uh,
have to be right back.
no, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. It seems that Jill will be my Al. She has to leave the imaging chamber from time to time, but that's dope. I'm going to go to the chat for a second, and I'm going to say that Stephen Ransom says, Stephen Lover, what's to be offended at? Phil, congratulating Rebellious Pastry. Thank you, and fantastic. And anybody who wants to go see some storytelling animation about you know what? As Robert Meyer Burnett says, everyone has a story to tell. All you have to do is listen. Look at Rebellious Pastry. That is a story to listen to. It's great. I think it's they're fun. They're fun. Uh, Phil says, I'm going to go watch Demon Knight now. Fair enough, sir. You know what? I apologize for chortling directly into the microphone, but that is the perfect answer. If you are enjoying the Quantum Leap retrospective celebration, welcome. If you find this really weird that a bunch of people are talking about Quantum Leap, I get that too. What are you doing on a Thursday? PvP says, we'll head out. Don't want to spoil the stream with stuff unrelated. Sir, I always enjoy your company, and I do not want to be offensive, but yeah, we're just talking about Quantum Leap and trying to figure that out. So, but I am looking forward to speaking with you tomorrow on Antiderivative Jill's channel when we have the Plomeek Tea Time. I'm not 100% sure what the topic is going to be, but it's always a fun time hanging out with you and everyone who comes by the Plomeek Tea Time. So that's tomorrow on the Antiderivative Jill channel. PvP says, bye. Oh boy. Stephen Ransom says goodnight to Philip, and I'm sure continues on the thought towards Harry Thatcher. No, that's not her name, Scott. Come on, seriously. I swear. You can. It's water. I'm drinking water tonight. Oh, it's been a big day, though. Oh, my. And also, based on. I'm just going to leave Terry Hatcher's name up there because Stephen Ransom has a thing going. And also, while we are. Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. I can welcome Jill back. Thank you.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
Good, good. So Sam's back, right? And he is, or sorry, Al's back, and Al is telling him that the entire reason that, or at least that Ziggy is saying, is that he's back in time to try and make it so that Jamie Lee doesn't ruin her life by hooking up with Jerry. And Al says, nay, nay. I'm here
Sam.
because I can hook up. Sorry, Sam is sorry is here to hook up with Donna, or at least make it so that Donna is a better person to fall in love with Sam in the future, right?
Yes, yes, that's right. Her Jamie Lee's craziness is paralleled with Sam's own love sickness that he has for Donna, who
Yes.
who left him at the altar in his 30s. And
Yes.
he at first believes he's there to save their love, um, not knowing that she gets engaged before that.
Yes. And
And so that eventually evolves into just saving her happiness.
uh Jamie Lee's or Donna's?
Donna's.
Yes.
Possibly Jamie Lee, at least not marrying that gross guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is that it's the marrying of the gross guy. Now, throughout this, it, do you have the part where we get introduced to? Okay, so this is, yes, yada yada yada. I love that you took all these slides, but this is all conversation about like, no, I'm supposed to break up them. No, you're supposed to be with her. No, I'm supposed whatever. Like this is a soap opera science fiction. Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So anyway, Jerry starts following Donna. How do you feel about this?
Well, Donna, I think that Donna underreacts to the stalking that Jerry does throughout this episode.
Yes, yes. Agreed. Now, okay, keep going. Okay, so this is where hang on a second. Did you get Blue Al?
I
You
did.
did get Blue Al. Awesome. So anyway, this is so great. This is cool. Now, what song was playing when Al was blue? Do you remember?
I don't. What song was playing?
Well, no, and the reason I'm asking it's not because it's a trivia question. It's because I'm curious about the licensing rights of music, and if I remember correctly, it was Inagata Davida.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
And then later on, like, and you know when you watch old TV shows and then they re-release them on like streaming services or Blu-rays or DVDs or whatever, sometimes there are licensing rights with the music, so you don't get the right ones. So I was just checking to see.
Hmm.
That's all. So anyway, we get so Sam slash Jerry is following Donna, and Donna knows how Jerry or how Sam likes his hamburger
Yes, that is very strange. How does she know that?
because true love, Jill.
But it makes no sense because they haven't met yet. They're
True,
supposed to meet in the future. It would
true,
make sense for him to know about her, but not the
yes,
other way around.
true.
Uh,
But it's true love, Jill. That's why. Because Sam says it, she knows it. For some reason, maybe it's the way she has her favorite burger.
okay, that's a logical conclusion. I didn't think of that.
Maybe that's how they met, that
That's
they both
only
like their burgers the same way.
sure. Why not?
I
The,
don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
well,
so
that
this
one that makes more sense than anything I could think of. So
so anyway, the thing from the Fantastic Four shows up and says, "I want to break your face because well, like this guy has had sex with Jamie Lee, yes?
yes, I think so.
I think
To
so
be fair,
too.
Jamie Lee says he wants to pin me, so I don't know if they've done that.
Oh no no no! He wants to pin me was a term for like putting your class pin, and it sort of it signified that you were a couple back in
Oh,
the
see, I didn't know
70s.
that.
Yeah, that was a thing back in
I'm
the day.
confused.
So, or at least it was a carryover from like romantic songs from the mid 60s. So, but yeah, so that's what's going on.
Hmm.
It's not like
Okay,
pin
right.
me is yeah, anyway.
I get it. Thank you.
Okay, great. It's like a corsage.
Mhm.
So, anyway, here's what's his name? Oscar?
Oscar,
And
yeah, the
eh,
wrestler.
and he's gonna beat the crap out of Jerry. And
Yes, but Jerry gets out of it this time by giving him some advice. Um,
Yes. Well, trying to. He's a
right,
lunkhead.
right. He's trying to tell him to speak more to her mind, however much mind she actually has, rather than from the gutter.
Well, no, but she has like a romance novel mind. Like Jamie Lee is not without value.
It's true.
You hate her.
I do.
Okay. So moving on, he wants to get with her, and Sam wants him to get with her. He is in no way responsible for the previous actions of Jerry, and so now he's trying to make it so that those two get together so that he can leap. But
Yeah,
he's
but
he's
some
he's
guys are
kind of
incapable of romance.
well, and this guy seems like a lunkhead.
Definitely,
He uses the word horny a lot.
definitely a dingbat.
Definitely a dingbat. Look at this ugly guy. I would rather make out with Steve Buscemi. God.
I know it's bad. It's bad how ugly he is.
How did that guy get Jamie Lee is my question.
Or have an adoring classroom full of students who love him. That's just really
It is very, very strange. It doesn't make any sense in the aesthetic way. And the entire episode that I'm watching this, it's like completely, I'm watching it as if it's Jerry. I'm not looking at Sam. I'm looking at Jerry. And I'm just like, oh. But this is the first in both of these episodes that we have about Nixon.
yes. They're talking about the conflict in Vietnam.
They're talking about the conflict in Vietnam. They're talking about the presidential race with McGovern, and it is sort of it's hanging over the entire episode. See, and this is where it falls apart a little bit for me. Is I was like, why did Sam choose that robe?
And why is he even bothering with the pipe? He doesn't smoke.
That's true too. Like I don't know. I think it's brilliant acting. I still think he's being in. I think Scott Bakula is being in character, but I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
that's all he's doing is just
Well,
trying to get into the mindset of this person.
well, and also there is the possibility that because he leapt into Jerry, what if there's still some sort of connection between Jerry's personality and Sam? Because don't forget, Jerry's in the waiting room. We haven't
That's
addressed that yet, but
that's possible, but for me, it still feels like Sam is Sam. I don't really sense any sleaze bagginess from Sam in this episode.
oh, I think Sam is a total sleaze in this episode.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, so Jamie Lee comes back and she asks him to dress up like Sir Lancelot.
Right.
Al is here to witness the sexy, kinky shenanigans.
Yes, and he marvels at all of their kinky things in the drawer
Oh, there's a
in
sex
the
toy closet.
wardrobe.
It's great.
And this is the point where I need to switch slides.
Well, then I'll go back to the chat because we have had some. Especially the welcoming of Dalek451. Must have forgot this. I knew Donna was Sam's future wife, but I don't remember that we were introduced to her in the very second episode. Yeah, or no, well, yeah, the first episode was a two-parter, so this would be the second episode, but technically episode 3. So, but Dalek, yeah, this is all sort of a revisitation for me. So there are things that I've forgotten that I'm really looking forward to revisiting. And I'm kind of looking at it through a more critical eye, but my heart does swell. So like every episode's going to get a 10. I don't even think I'm going to rank them.
That's fair. I don't want to rank these either. I still haven't myself. And this is my first time watching Quantum Leap in order.
Okay. And yeah, like, and for real, I've always bounced around. That's the fun of time travel shows is you can bounce around from whenever you want.
Yes,
So
yes. And this aired during a time where not everybody could watch each episode, like binge watch it. So each episode was written so that you could bounce around.
well, and yes, absolutely. And so it's really fun that we get to do two in a row. Speaking of which, we should really get back to the episode.
Right. We have two episodes to
We
review.
we do. We're only like in the first act right now.
I know.
So Sam says, "Please, whatever you do, just stay away from me."
Hmm. He actually manages to get her to leave. It's to everyone's relief, or at least mine. And
which is great. Like she is. No, I understand how you dislike her. I feel a little bad for her. I feel like Jerry took advantage of her.
oh yeah, he definitely did.
So I'm glad that
You're
Sam stepped
absolutely
in
correct.
to be like, you know what? No.
Right.
So that's nice. But the thing is, and with the parallel, is that he's being a bit of a Jamie Lee himself.
Hmm. Yes, he is. And Al can't help. Al is saying that he can't help, or they'll pull the plug. Apparently, the committee. So, what happens really if Al's fired and the funding is pulled? Sam would just leave. Would Sam would just leave alone, not knowing what to do, or would they replace Al? I'm not sure of any of
You
this.
know what? That's an interesting question. I never thought of that. I think that is the council suggesting that they would just abandon Sam in the past?
That is indeed my question. And
And mine too. Mine
Sam,
too.
Sam is enjoying the smell of the Bunsen burners.
And also the appearance of a lost love. At which point he abandons all responsibilities as Jerry would do,
Hmm.
and goes and pursues Donna, solves a mathematical equation, and starts spouting the poetry of physics.
Yes,
How
he
did you
helps her.
find how did you find the poetry of physics?
Well, he helps her with this equation, pointing out that she forgot Hubble's constant and the redshift. And I only took up to physics 2 in college, so I'm not any expert in astrophysics. But I do know some of it from watching Cosmos with Carl Sagan. And the Hubble's constant helps describe the expansion of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
predicted to have begun 14 billion years ago. And the universe has been expanding ever since. And you can measure that expansion by examining the redshift. And Hubble came up with the constant used for those equations. And and um,
Did you find the poetry of physics to be engaging?
yeah, I did. But if the stars are moving towards us, there'll be blue shifting, kind of like the Doppler effect. And when they move away, they're red shifting. And
Yes.
um, well, he says, ever read Lamont. I can't say that. I
Nope.
clearly haven't read Primeval Adam. He says,
Right.
there came the explosion, followed by the filling of the heavens with smoke. We come too late to do no more than visualize the splendor of creation's birthday. It's beautiful, says, and um, that's what
That
she says.
that's that, and I really loved that quote. I didn't have time to write it down, but yeah, no, I loved that. I thought it was great. I thought it was poetic.
It is,
But
and it's
yeah,
of course the description of the Big Bang,
yes, of course.
and
Um,
that
and,
no,
yeah, no, go ahead, please.
and that knowledge surprises Donna, but she's still creeped out because he knows that her father left her when she was a young child, and that worries her because she's not told anyone that. So he says that he got it from her records as he's her teacher.
That's not better.
No, it's not. Understandably, at that point, she doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yes,
However, he then interests her in his version of string theory to do with that universe expansion that were just talking about. So they end up bonding over science, and it's clear that Donna and Sam's mind work very well together, but Donna doesn't know that this is not a creepy old professor.
well. Oh, and also he reenacts the life and death loop.
Yes, right.
That
Yes, right. Where
for anyone who hasn't seen the first episode, that's when the beginning of your life is your birth, the end is your death, and then if you tie those two together, your life is a loop, and then if you crumple them all together, all the points in your life touch simultaneously, but in not in chronological order, right?
right, you got that perfect.
Yay. So that's what he shows her in a matter of what, like 4 seconds we see this on screen? It is perfect.
Yes, there's no words. You just know what he's doing if you
Yeah,
saw the pilot episode.
exactly. I love it.
Otherwise, you're confused.
Yes. So, oh, right. Then Al shows up
Hmm.
with a kimono and an Egyptian sash. He is being observed by the council or the committee. I don't remember the name of the guy who leads it, but whatever.
Me
And
either.
basically, during their last encounter, Sam was saying, you know what? If I could reunite Donna and her father, that would eliminate all of her daddy issues, and she wouldn't leave me at the altar. Can you find her father for me? And Al's like, I don't wanna, but okay. So he's back now with an Egyptian sash and does a horrible job at being subtle to try and tell Sam that he can read hieroglyphics. And Sam realizes that the hieroglyphics represent the capital and the Pharaoh's army. So that leads to Al miming ridiculously.
Yes. Also, one more thing is that we learned from the first episode that Sam has a doctorate in quantum physics and as a medical doctor. In this episode, the reason why Sam's able to read those hieroglyphics is because he also has a doctorate in ancient languages. And so that tells him that Donna's dad is in Washington, D.C., in the military, in the Pentagon. And
Then, uh, but because of the horrible miming and the clues given, the people who are witnessing, and this is actually an interesting thing that happens in terms of the technology, is that the people who are around Al can see Al, but they can't see Sam. Because again, it's a neurological holographic representation.
yes, Sam is fed directly into, I mean, Al is fed directly into Sam's mind. And so Sam
I,
can't see anybody else or
exactly.
anything else.
And also, there has to be a reciprocation in that communication as well, just so that Al is aware of the surroundings of Sam.
Hmm.
So, anyway, they realize that that Al is helping Sam try and find Colonel Wojciechowicz, because Al says, "How could I spell the name Admiral Wojciechowicz in hieroglyphics?" So they yank him out of the imaging chamber, and apparently Sam is on his own. But as Sam yells for Al, uh, Donna comes back and says, "Did you call for me?" And Sam says, or sorry, Jerry says, "No." Sam says, "Will you come with me to Washington D.C.?" And it's like, "Oh, creepy prof, stop being creepy." And then he says, I'll bring chaperones."
Hmm.
And so she
And
says,
yeah,
"All right."
that'll only take a day.
Well,
And
from
you're
all
right, it is absolutely creepy
it is,
from the
oh,
context of what we see.
from both.
Hmm.
Like I want to, like Jill, imagine it seriously. You've been abandoned by your father. I want to take you to your abandoning father. Like, what the hell are you
Oh,
doing?
he's not even honest with her at this point. Why
Not
are
at
they in
all.
Washington D.C.? He
Not at
doesn't
all.
reveal this until they're already in the car. And
And then at that point, he sort of frog walks her up to him. And it's just like, oh my, oh. It's really uncomfortable for me when watching it. I know this actor. I don't know where I know him from. If the chat would like to help, that would be adorable. But yes, this is Colonel Wojciechowicz. And Sam tells him that, oh, and he's about to go to Vietnam.
this his name is Michael Gregory.
And the actor's name, it's one of those things where it's like a face that I recognize, but not necessarily. If I saw him in another thing, I would be like, oh, I know that guy, just sort of like I'm doing now,
Hmm.
just from other things. I don't know what specifically.
Yes.
So anyway, he says, I'm shipping out to Vietnam tomorrow, and Sam says, well, I'm bringing you your daughter.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
much,
just
right?
yeah, and her dad, Colonel, is wondering if she's hurt, but really it's because he hasn't seen her in 10 years, so Sam wants to reunite them.
Yes. Now, do you think that that's an admirable goal? Admirable goal.
In general, yes, but he should have been more honest with upfront with Donna about his intentions instead of just, getting her to go on some random trip.
Now, along the way, because we still have a road trip to get through, and it's kind of, I don't know. Oh, right. Don't forget. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oscar comes and punches Sam in the face. Sorry, Jerry.
Hmm.
And rightly so. But Sam punches back, and then they have more of a conversation about how to woo Jamie Lee. Because let's not forget, that's how Sam's going to leap out of here.
Right. By convincing Jamie Lee that Oscar is better than a old professor.
Which, yeah, like if you had a choice between Jerry and Oscar here,
I would go. Uh, I'd change majors.
fair enough, good choice. So anyway, they go on the road trip and they see a deer. And Oscar is, like I said, like we said, kind of a lunkhead. He indicates that he wants to shoot the deer. And Jamie Lee is flabbergasted by this
Yes,
possibility.
yes, but Sam and Donna back him up, and say that in literature, they hunted stags too.
Yeah, true story. Come on, there's lots of, you know, you expect your romantic leads in classical romantic literature to have a little bit of a, manly man side. They go on hunts and they fight battles and things. So you need a muscle bound man there, Jamie Lee,
Right. They say
right?
Rochester rode on stag hunts.
Yes. Rochester? What's Rochester from?
I have no idea.
Fair
I,
enough. Me
I, I
either.
took remember I took world literature, not English literature.
Well, no, and I'm enjoying the science fiction of this more than the soap opera, but we have to get through that too.
Yeah, right.
But speaking of the soap opera, and this is brilliant, and this is part of the reason why I don't like the new Quantum Leap, is because Al shows up, and Dean Stockwell is such a good actor. He explains exactly how he got back. They fired him, but he set up his girlfriend to go and hang out with the leader of the committee for the Quantum Leap project, and said, "Well, if you don't let me back in, I'm going to tell your wife about Tina."
Yeah, he basically blackmails this guy.
Not
He calls,
basically, absolutely. He admits to such a thing.
right.
And so he's back on Quantum Leap through nefarious late 80s manipulation. Ooh, I love the
Unscrupulous.
scheming.
Yeah, the unscrupulousness of it.
He says that absolutely. He's like it's totally unscrupulous. So and obviously based on this slide, Sam doesn't like it at all. Not at all. Everything is fine. This is such the weird emotional roller coaster. I love these characters so much, but these are like this is almost like American Pie dude bros manipulating someone to go and all right, now we're gonna go see your dad.
Hmm.
So strange, so strange. Anyway,
Well, he says that if Sam succeeds, that there's a 4-to-1 odds that she'll commit to a relationship in the
right.
future. And this is where it's revealed that she was engaged to someone before Sam, so it's most likely that she's going to marry that person instead of Sam.
Yes.
Mhm.
But it doesn't like but Sam also says it's like well maybe she'll leave that guy at the altar and then hook up with me.
Yeah.
But also and there is a
Yeah.
moment where they say you cannot they Al tells Sam that you cannot use time travel manipulation to advance your own position. It was the rule that was hand to Bible. Sorry about the situation. but like you cannot use this to alter your own life. And Sam says, well, if I made that rule, I'm breaking it.
He did.
So meanwhile, back with Terry Hatcher.
She's
Uh,
a quantum physicist.
yep. And oh look, Jamie Lee and Oscar are getting along,
Yeah.
which is beneficial. But this is the part where they walk into the hotel where Colonel Wojciechowicz is staying,
He does
and
not want to be disturbed.
he does not. Well, he's going to Vietnam tomorrow. It's going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But Jerry convinces, or not convinces, tries to explain that this is the Colonel's daughter, and they say, doesn't matter. We need identification. She doesn't have her ID. Why doesn't she have her purse? I forget. Do you remember?
That's a good question. I do not know.
Anyway, so they go outside and then they try and skulk about the outside of the building to try and break in. Security is alerted, and they run around. Meanwhile, back in the back seat of the car, Jamie Lee and Oscar are sort of acquainting themselves. Sam finds an open door, and Colonel Wojciechowicz is looking at a. I don't even know if that's Terry Hatcher. If that's a young Terry Hatcher, good for continuity. And if it's not, good
But
for sort of look-alikedness.
that's supposed to be the implication. I don't know if they actually got a picture of the real Terry Hatcher. Sometimes they do that.
Sometimes they do. I don't know. What do you think of that picture? Do you think it looks like Terry Hatcher? Does it look
It's
like a young
believable.
Terry? It's believable, yes.
It's good enough.
It's good enough. So anyway, there's a knock, or actually there's a doorbell. Very fancy hotel.
Hmm.
And the door opens, and there's the Colonel. And there's Donna,
And they reunite.
father and daughter reunited. How did you feel about the reuniting?
It was okay. I
Okay.
mean, it was good.
Was it sappy? Was it
Yes.
cliched?
Yes.
Did it do anything for you emotionally, or did
No.
it just seemed like this is where we're going and everything's over now?
Yes.
Okay, me
Precisely.
too. Me too. So anyway, uh, Sam slash well no Sam says goodbye to Donna, hoping that he had actually made a difference in her life. He thinks that he did. I think, right?
Yes. And he definitely did. He achieved his objective. And that is the implication here.
In a positive way, though.
Hmm.
Like throughout this is time traveling, almost stalking.
It is.
It's
Absolutely.
and so there are like if it weren't for the likability of Scott Bakula, would you like? I still think this is a very strange, weird, ethically shaky episode in terms of what everything has happened so far. It's emotional manipulation to
Sam
a
thinks he knows better than Ziggy and went off on his own
or
adventure.
Donna or Colonel Wojciechowicz.
True. Yeah,
Like
he
there's
doesn't involve any of them in his plans. He's just manipulative. I I guess I'm coming around to what you're saying here is that he's trying to control the situation
but
himself.
well, and also this is where we start getting the introduction of there's someone on his side. There's a higher power here. And he even says when we get to the stairwell, he's like, I got someone on my side. He
Hmm.
feels like he's doing God's work, if you will.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's where you get the televangelism from. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and then also in the backseat of a car, Jamie Lynn and Oscar make out.
Yeah, they do.
But this is where the question is because at the beginning of the episode, it was high probability, as per Ziggy, was to make it so that Jamie Lynn didn't destroy her life by getting together with Jerry. At the end of the episode, Al says, well, if you were supposed to reunite Donna and her dad, then why haven't you left yet? We cross over to the back seat of the car where Jamie Lee and Oscar kiss, and that is when Sam leaps, meaning Ziggy was right.
Yes, and Ziggy also mentions that Sam happens to be there on June 17th, 1972,
I for,
during the Watergate break-in.
I forgot about that. How did I forget about Watergate? Oh, I know. Republicans would love me. That was a line earlier in the show. That's not just me.
That's right. The Republicans would love you.
Exactly. What's Watergate? I don't even know what that is. And so anyway, as soon as Jamie Lee and Oscar kiss, Sam leaps into a boxing ring and gets punched in the face.
Hmm. Yes, and that leads us into our next episode.
It does. It absolutely does. But before we go into the next episode, um, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do, Jill. I am going to say hello. Oh, wait, hang on. Say hello to Dalek451. Uh,
Hi, Dalek.
hey, Dalek, thanks for being here if you're still here. And if you're not, I appreciate that you were here in the first place. If you leapt out, I'm sure it was of your own choice. Uh, Dalek says, at the start of the second season, Al is faced with the possibility of Sam being abandoned in the past. Well, yeah. And as the introduction will go on to describe, every leap is a hope of a leap home.
Yes, and
So,
that seems to be a looming threat that starts in this episode.
yes, absolutely. All right. Now, that's the entirety of the chat. Everyone's been showing up. There's been tons of them, but a lot of them have been horrible robots that I can't show in the chat, and everyone else is just saying hi to each other. Dalek
Oh,
is still
oh,
here. No,
we had robots. You
no,
were
we
able to.
didn't.
Oh,
I'm just jamming. Dalek is still here. Well, and Dalek, you sound like you're very knowledgeable when it comes to Quantum Leap. It's a
he
pleasure to have you
does.
here, sir. Well, leave it to a Dalek to know about time travel. All right, so
Yes,
that
he's got
moves
to
us
keep
on.
track of the doctor.
There you go. So that brings us to episode 4 of Quantum Leap, The Right Hand of God. And this is when I really felt that, like, and we're going to get to another evolution of the Quantum Leap introductory theme song, where it is a lady's voice who is a little bit more wistful about the journey of Sam Becket. But right now we got Sam Becket narrating what's happened so far,
Mm.
and uh, still with the cuts from the previous leaps, because it is all just like, yeah, exactly. We're just getting shots from the last episode and the first episode and the theme song and the swooshes and the images from history. I really enjoy the theme.
I do too.
So it's October 24th, 1974, and Sam is getting beaten up until. And also, there's only one guy that I recognize from this episode, because I knew I said that this was going to be a show about guest stars, but there's only one character actor that I recognize from this show. Sam goes into the boxing ring. He is getting beaten up horribly, but then he lightly taps his opponent in the chin. The man crumples, and Sam is pronounced the winner, much to the chagrin of everyone watching.
Yes, the guy who announces him as the winner does not seem excited or thrilled, or he's just like bored of the whole thing.
Yes, like it's obviously a thrown fight.
Yes.
So Sam, because we don't even know what the guy's name is at this point, goes in and doesn't know what's happening, doesn't know what's going on. High tiger stripes,
Hello, Tiger
and
Stripes.
and isn't even aware of the fact that the fight had been thrown.
Yeah, that's great that Tiger Stripes is here because this this boxer is supposed to fight Tiger Joe Jackson in the
Oh,
movie
is he?
show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tiger Stripe says, I have to wonder if the title is a parody of Le
Um,
Guin's title, Left Hand of Darkness.
Ursula K. Le Guin.
Okay.
Yes, she's a fantastic science fiction author.
It would make sense. This is a fantastic science fiction show. And Dalek, yes, we are reviewing 2 episodes tonight. We're just starting the second one now.
Yes.
So anyway, Sam sees himself and he has a hairy chest and a hairy back. And we're checking to see if he has a concussion because obviously Sam has no idea what's going on. He's just been punched in the face and won a boxing match through no effort of his own. Meanwhile, nuns arrive.
Yes, because it was legally determined that he left some of his estate to St. Mary's Church. Okay.
Yes,
Something like that.
something like that. It's very sort of, we have nuns now. Here's why you inherited your father's contract or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Cody's contract. Whoever Cody is. Who's
Well,
Cody?
Sam's Cody.
Oh, okay. Then there you go.
Kid Cody.
Oh, Duke Ludden left. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. All we know is that there is some responsibility between Cody and the nuns. And
Yes.
Cody's trainer is obviously very frustrated with the nature of Cody's win at the evening's match. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, covering himself up, Sam says, "Okay, I'll see you later. Like, I'll talk to you in a bit. I'll go and see what you're doing." And so this is when. What's the name of the nun? What's her name again?
The nun's name is
Are we just gonna call her Nun?
we can't do that. Let me find out.
No, I can look. Okay. So anyway, Nun is showing where she has an ambition for the church to build a chapel. She knows where the stained glass window is going to go, and she knows where the soup kitchen and where they are going to be taking care of the homeless. It is a very selfless endeavor to try and help the community, and under the tutelage of being a nun.
Her name
Yes.
is Sister Angela.
So Angela, Sister Angela, is sort of outlining this, and then, oh my God, I want that jacket.
It's so shiny.
Is it possible to go as Al for Halloween?
I don't know.
Like, all you need is a loud jacket, a tie, and a cigar. And
Well,
be like,
also,
oh, and Ziggy. You need the Ziggy handheld thing.
you need Ziggy. You also need a LED star.
Sure. No, but that was in the last episode. There's no LED star in this one. So anyway, apparently Al's neighbor has been building an engine which makes him fall asleep. That's a
Yeah.
thing that we talk about during this episode for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, somebody in his neighborhood is being loud in the middle of the night.
All Al hears is vroom, vroom. So that's less than helpful.
Yes.
Oh, right. I forgot. Oh, my stars. So anyway, Sam looks to the heavens and refers to God, as you would. And on his way home, because he knows where he lives, for some reason, does Al tell him where he lives? Like Cody.
I don't know how I don't know how Sam knows where Cody lives.
So anyway, Sam goes to Cody's house.
Yeah, there's I don't know, maybe he has an ID just like the last episode, but we just
Maybe. Oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Wallet thing. So anyway, he when he gets home, this mobster shows up and says, "You're going to take a fall in the eighth or whatever." And Sam says, "No, I'm." Oh no, wait! Before they said that the only way that Sam was going to leap is if he won the state championship.
Hmm.
And so it's like, well, how do I do that? And it's like, well, you can't. So just don't fight and you won't die. And so Sam tries to retire here, and then the guys, the mobsters, gun comes out, and they threaten to shoot off his kneecaps and give him a skateboard to roll around in, kind of like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places.
Well, except Eddie Murphy was just pretending, and this wouldn't be pretending.
Agreed.
Man. Yeah, so Sam then decides maybe quitting isn't such a good idea.
Yeah, but he also gets paid for it too. Like they give him the money.
They do.
So anyway, Sam reckons that God is angry with him. He walks into his apartment, finds half of it decorated like a gym, and the other half decorated like it belongs to Marilyn Monroe, which it does. That is Dixie. That is Cody's Dixie, and she is super jazzed to be a mall. I suppose. Actually, I have a question for you, Jill. Dixie, is she a floozy, a harlot, or a hussy?
Um, well, I don't
None of
know.
the above is an
None of
adequate
the above.
answer.
Yeah, no, I don't really think I don't know enough about her character to judge her on that level because all I know about her is that she works as a stripper, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, it's a profession, and she's also
Right.
very invested in Cody's life,
And
and
plus she doesn't like doing that. It seems like
mhm,
something that she is needing to do to survive and not necessarily her dream job.
right. Well, what is her dream job?
I have no idea. We don't get that much character development from
No,
her.
we totally do. The entire reason that they are together is because she has a dream of opening a donut shop.
Oh, right, the donuts. I forgot about the donuts with the sprinkles.
Exactly. That's all she wants. She wants to open a bakery to make donuts. That's what she wants. She wants to get out of this sex trafficking business. So, anyway, this is Roscoe, and I know this guy from many things, but I can't name one of them. It's kind of like Colonel Wojciechowicz from the last episode. I know him. I'm sure people in the chat know who this guy is, but anyway, he's a bookie, I guess, or a loan shark.
Yeah.
They do bets.
Yeah, he's come to collect.
Yes, because Cody's been making bets,
Mhm.
and
Yes, and he's
and
lost.
and he's lost. So Dixie uh, takes some of the money, pays him off, and says, "If you ever come back here again, I'm gonna kick your ass." And then breaks his nose with the door. So maybe it was a little harsh with Dixie off the hop.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, she's protecting her guy here.
Yeah, she's a very strong lady.
Yeah, she does. She is.
That's exactly. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if this is safe for YouTube anymore. We have a topless lady, Jill. You took these pictures. What are you doing?
Well, it was an important part of the thing because he says that he has to go live with the nuns because earlier we forgot to mention it.
Hmm.
Angela.
You're just gonna leave her topless on screen while you talk about this?
Well, I guess I don't have to.
You could go back one. There we go. Let's have Sam. It just seems rude to parade her before everyone.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I wanted to be gentlemanly about it. So anyway, what was happening before?
Oh, Angela wants to save some money, and
Yes.
in order to, and she wants Cody to practice, to train to be a prize fighting boxer. So she thinks the best way to do that is for him to live with the nuns for a while.
Which makes sense.
And that's why we see. That's why we see Dixie topless because she's like, really? You want to go live with nuns?
They own you? I thought I owned you. I thought you owned me. It's very sensual. Very. Like the relationship between Cody and Dixie, it seems like a healthy one.
It is.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, very nice compared to the very unhealthiness that we saw in the last episode.
Yeah, that was creepy. Anyway, so he moves in with the nuns, which you know what, by the way, not a phrase I was expecting to say today. Yeah. And oh, and well, and there when Dixie goes topless, the soundtrack goes into Amazing Grace, which
It
I thought
does.
was funny.
That
And
was
then
hilarious.
and then he goes to the convent or the move in with the nuns into the church, and it's still playing, and then it is interrupted by Al sleeping.
And this is the first instance of Sam singing.
It is. Well, and Scott Bakula's a song. He's a song and dance man. He's a showman. There's nothing that Scott Bakula can't do. It's part of the reason why I want to watch this show. Anyway, so Al is there. Also, another reason why I want to watch this show, and he is exhausted because of that stupid guy and his stupid motor.
Mhm.
Anyway, uh, Al wants to know why Sam's at the church, and Sam is like, "Because I got to train to fight."
Right. Well, Ziggy thinks that given all of the unknown variables here, that Sam's winning the championship and getting the chapel for the sisters is his best chance at leaping.
Yes, and so Sam wants to go get a trainer, and or no, sorry, Al. Al is basically saying that he's going to train Sam, and Sam says
Right.
that's not going to work just because you have no corporeal form. So
Hmm.
there's
Oh,
no there's no way that we can like sort of spar, and
correct.
so Sam is
So
on
he
his way
just
to go
leaves
get
him
a
in the
trainer.
dark, leaving Al in the dark.
And so he goes back to his own old trainer, or at least Cody's old trainer, who we saw at the beginning of the episode. And he is understandably fed up with training fighters who are going to take a dive.
Hmm.
Uh,
And it turns out he has some personal history with taking dives himself back when he used to box.
yeah. And and it's I enjoy the idea that he's like I'm not training a bum. It's all like this. Obviously, it's a boxing episode, so I'm gonna get echoes of Rocky.
But that's intentional with the
Of
music that they
course.
use
Well, there are
and the
two
montage.
montages,
Yes, the sports training montage
two of them.
showing lots of things happening at once.
So much. So anyway, yeah, no. So Crime Boss comes in, says you're going down in the whatever round to Cody/Sam, and Gomez is like, I don't want to work with that guy. And then Crime Boss says, I remember when you took a dive back,
Like a
you were one of the best,
swan.
like a
Like,
swan when you fell. Oh my God, what a dick. So yeah, so the Gomez says to Cody, "You got yourself a trainer."
right.
Bum,
That
bum, 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 bum. Hey, Dixie's back.
works.
So the first person that Cody has to fight to get back into the ring is I would assume the Reverend,
You know what? You're right. That has to be the Reverend.
and Gomez says to Sam, "Just don't fall over how old he is." And this is Sam being laid out by an old priest. Yep,
And getting water splashed on him.
yep. Luckily, everyone just thinks that that's because Cody's been throwing his fights for the past year, and that's why he's out of shape and he can't do it. It's he's a bum, and so they we go into what everyone looks like when they start working out, which is a montage of ineptitude and ridiculousness. A
And
guy
now,
who oh sorry,
oh, and now I need to switch slides.
all right, Well, thank heavens. Dalek is still here and says, I always like that song Sam sings a few times throughout the show. Well, again, we're only on episode 3, and it's been so long since I've seen it, Dalek. We're looking forward to going through these. And so, you know what? When we're talking about Quantum Leap, asking you to shut up about the future is kind of dumb. So keep throwing the references, buddy. You can be gushy.
Gushy. With the bad. Well, no, because Dalek doesn't have bad breath. He's a
Is he
Dalek.
Ziggy? He's not Ziggy. Is he Ziggy?
He might be Ziggy.
Dalek, you might be Ziggy. Let us know.
I don't know. I don't know. He needs to decide.
It is up to him. So anyway, montage. Even Rocky had a montage, and he's terrible at it. And this is exactly how I would work a speed bag. And this is when Gomez says, "Yo, you don't know what you're doing." But here is where we find out the most disturbing tale about the origin of a nun that I have ever seen.
Agreed.
Sam is running with bricks in his hand. She is riding a bicycle. It's almost like the beginning of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. You know, when Little Mac, and he's on his way to the match. Anyway, so Angela explains how she has such high hopes for the championship. She wants it to work out because she was absolutely and totally lost. She had fallen to the streets after her parents were killed in a fire.
Her parents and also her little brothers.
Yes. Now, did you? She explains that she was referred to when her family was alive as the princess, and she had a castle, but it was a treehouse. Do you think she was in the treehouse while the house burnt down?
That was what I was thinking, that she fell asleep in the treehouse and that everyone else died in the fire because they were in the house.
That's what I thought too. So
But it's
anyway,
not clear.
so she was passed from uncle to uncle, I would like to say, and she says horrible things happened. I don't want to say.
Fortunately, they do not say.
Fortunately, they do not say. So she ends up on the street. She did whatever she had to do to survive, and she found herself at a soup kitchen and was taken in by a nun who convinced her to have faith in her own soul, God, and other people. And now she wants to make it so that she can do that for other people and make them a castle. Yes?
Yes, that's precisely because she wants to make a memorial for her family.
Yes.
And
It's a
so,
touching story, but it's a tragic one.
extremely. And so
Yes.
that's why she's working Cody so hard.
Yes. So we get the second montage. Bum, 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 bum,
Where
bum, bum,
he's
bum, bum.
doing a little
Look at
better.
that. Parallel bars. He's got the speed bag down, although I did notice that they sort of sped it up a bit. But it was great.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So Al is. This is okay. This is Gushy, or sorry, this is Ziggy handheld 2. Because the first one was clear and just a rectangle. This is when it starts to get to be the shape of Ziggy, but it's not the right color and it doesn't have lights yet.
Yes, and what Ziggy reports is that Kid Cody is not was knocked out by Tiger Joe in 1 minute 10 seconds of the first round, and that as a result of throwing the fight, Sister Angela does not get her chapel.
Right. There is a convenience store, uh,
Mini Mall
uh, a uh, uh, a fitness center for singles
and a convenience store that's been robbed 5 times this year.
this year. We still don't know what year it is in the future yet, though.
No,
So Sam is even more, and also he was inspired by Sister Angela to win the fight. So he is more. He has more resolve than ever to do this.
yes,
However,
yes, he wants her happy ending.
mm, oh, and also in the background of this episode, throughout the episode, there is reference to Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman.
Yes, right there.
Very famous fight. I don't know if this is the Rumble in the Jungle or the Thrilla in Manila. I don't know. I don't do sports.
Same here. This is why I do not. I didn't know.
But it's
I don't know
important to the
either.
plot because it
It is
is
very
it
important.
like it's basically the resolution. This is important. Write this down, guys. So that's going on, and uh, mob boss comes and or I don't even think he's mob boss, but like Thuggy shows up and says, "You go down," and he says, "I won't go down. I'll win in this round or whatever." He makes a bet based on uh, Foreman and Ali. Sorry, Ali and Four Men. Ali and Four Men. Never mind. That was a
Yeah,
mispronunciation on
he's
my part.
well. He's worried that Cody is training too hard,
To
like
win.
to win.
And but then Sam says, "I am. I am winning. I'm going to win." And so they say, okay, well, you owe us money. And he says, okay, well, then take the bet against, or sorry, of when Muhammad Ali will win. And bingo. So that's how we get the financial setup. And then here's something smarmy that Sam does when he goes home to prepare for his victory at the boxing match.
Hmm. Yeah,
Do you,
right. He convinces Dixie to streak during the fight.
yeah, because it's the only way he'll win. Something that she is obviously very upset about, does not want to do. And it's actually rather painful that it is Cody that is asking her to do so.
It is. It's very
So
strange. This is a strange episode in some ways.
I did write down with a double underline and 3 punctuation marks of its time.
Like I don't see why she had to do that.
I think it was to distract the other guy.
Just to distract the mob boss so he doesn't kill Cody.
Either the mob boss
Stuff
or
like
the
that.
guy who was in the yeah, maybe the mob boss, maybe I thought maybe the boxer. I thought it was to distract the boxer, but we never got a reaction shot on that. But we did get a
Um.
reaction shot on the mob boss. So you might be
Okay.
right.
No, but you're right. Though there needs to be a distraction to defeat the Tiger Joe because Tiger Joe Jackson is a professional,
Right.
whereas Sam has only been training for a couple of weeks, so
Yes.
it's less believable for him to win without some kind of advantage.
It's kind of contrived, but also Dixie's been a bit of eye candy this entire episode. So
Yeah. And
anyway,
more references to, well, he convinces her to do it by reminding her of the donut shop.
yes. And yeah. So Sam, where? Oh, and then, okay, so Sam goes before the fight to go see Sister Angela, and Sister Angela saw the mob boss and said that Sam doesn't get to pick the round, or Cody, and you got to go down in the first. And he left your money, and she's very specific about it. And she says that she thought that she had gathered a champion for her cause, and ultimately it seems that she's gathered a cheat, and she is incredibly disappointed. And she goes to the altar with the candles in the church, and Sam goes up and says, I'm going to try and win. I know that you've heard that I throw every fight that ever been a part of. I'm a different guy now, and I am going to do my best to win tonight. And she says, I don't believe you. But also, Sam prefaced it by saying, you're not going to believe this. So, anyway,
Hmm.
there's a divide. Oh, and also Sam says the only time that I ever thought that I could actually do this is when you believed in me. So I hope that you do.
And I thought that happens at the end, but all right.
Well, it's a mix. I don't know. I kind of all these nuns look the same. Is it more than one?
No, no, no. But that particular speech happens at the end.
No, but at the end, it's sort of it ties back to it. But anyway, we get back to the boxing match, and this is this is a really well shot boxing match. Like I'm not a sports guy, but I really liked the sort of build up and action sequence of the boxing match. How did you like it?
Yeah, it was well done.
Yeah.
Looked good.
Well, it's like era specific and like I don't know, it's exciting. That it was well shot. It's very physical, obviously. Guy's got sideburns. There's punches. Oh my God! Look at that. Sam gets punched. He goes down. He goes down once right away, and then he fights back, and then I think Tiger goes down once,
Hmm.
and Sam thinks that he's knocked him out, but Tiger gets back up, and that's when Al shows up, and
That's when
everything
Al
gets
shows
better.
up.
Well, yeah, Al shows up.
Well,
Sorry.
don't we
You.
get don't we get the streaking first?
Oh, we do get the streaking first. My mistake. My mistake.
Right. Or at least that's what's here.
Oh my God! Is that side boob?
Is it? No,
I
I
don't
don't see
know.
any. I
Is that
don't
a
see any.
shadow?
It's a shadow.
Okay. Thank
It's
God.
only a shadow.
Speaking of God,
Yeah, and
um,
we get a motion of the cross from the sister.
well, and that's the guy who beat up Sam in the first place. There's Mob Boss. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, anyway, so Sam is on the ropes, obviously, and Al shows up. There we go.
There's Al. Yes.
And he actually does a really good job at trying to help. But Sam's holding his own. Everything's going well. Also, you know what? It's weird. I watched this episode, but I didn't realize how fit Sam was. Like, good work on the training, yo.
Agreed. I did notice
Yeah,
that too.
of course you did. Bacula. Do you ever think of him as Captain Archer when you're saying this, or is it always Sam?
I definitely think of Captain Archer. No
Really?
doubt. But
I I totally separate the characters.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, not continuously, just every once in a while.
you see glimpses. I get it. And I guess that's the way I watch Captain Archer. Is whenever I'm watching Enterprise, I see more Sam Beckett than I see Captain Archer. Anyway,
Anyway, Al's helping out with the fight by showing Sam where to punch.
yeah. Oh yeah, with he's because again Al's non-corporeal, so he can sort of be like whack-a-mole.
Yes, and he was also, we didn't mention it earlier, but he was a champion. Maybe, he did some boxing in his past.
He was Golden Gloves, yeah, and yeah, uh, Sam beats him in the boxing match, and Al gives a cute little blows him over, and Adrian. So everyone's happy except for Mob Boss. And also, Sister Angela gets her faith back.
Yes, at that moment.
And
Well,
there's
actually, before that moment. She got her faith back as soon as she saw that Cody was trying. And
once
not
he got back
going.
up, after he got back up after the first punch. And then Dixie shows up.
Yes.
And everybody's happy because he won, and Dixie's happy, and then Dixie goes to collect them. Oh wait, no, I'm jumping ahead. Anyway, Cyrus Redblock here shows up and says, "You screwed me, son. You owe me money." And then Dixie says, "Oh, we bet it all, and they are going to be receiving, based on their winnings, $42,000."
$48,000.
Oh my!
20, 20 for Cody and Dixie, 20 for the nuns and their chapel, and then 8 of it will go to the mob boss so that they're not angry, I guess.
Yes, so that they bought their way out of their contract, if you will. And so that makes it so that Cyrus Redblock goes over to Roscoe, yes, and says, "All right, we got to go find this money then, my friend, because it seems that my partners and I, we need that money." So Dixie goes; she's going to go collect the money, and Sam says, "Hurry back." And again, I just like how he is still maintaining their relationship for
Mhm.
Cody.
Yeah, he does. He does a very good job of that.
Yeah. So anyway, Angela comes in, and this is, I don't know if this is going to be a trend where at the end of the episode the people are going to come in and just say, "You're such a good person." Is that going to be a theme every episode?
Possibly.
It is a possibility. But as soon as the nun says you're a really good person, Sam leaps out.
In the first episode, all he did was give his son a thumbs up, and then, or, and
Well,
then
he
he went
saved
to
his he
baseball.
saved his mom in the first episode.
Yeah, well, he saved his mom and his sister.
Yeah. So, yeah, no. So anyway, next week Sam jumps into a place with pigs.
Yes, and guess he's a farmer now, a pig farmer.
A pig farmer, I suppose.
We'll
And
see
that
next
was
week.
that was the right hand of God. Who played? Okay, oh no, never mind. This isn't the actual credits. You just took screenshots. So, I'm going to be like, "Who's Roscoe?" But it doesn't matter.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I took pictures anyway, just in case.
Either way, no, I love it. Like, if you haven't heard the theme song to Quantum Leap lately, totes.
Yes, it's a beautiful theme song. I love it. And
So
I preferred the pilot to these episodes, but they're still good.
I did as well, although I liked the world building with the committee.
True. Yes, the Invisible Committee, who apparently have financial control over the Quantum Leap project, so it isn't just Al and Sam going on adventures.
And it's not necessarily like it is a government operation or project, but it's still sort of it's got civilian oversight to a certain extent.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm
So,
enjoying the world. I'm enjoying the world building as we go. They're playing a little fast and loose with the Swiss cheese head.
mhm. Well, it's just whatever the plot wants Sam to know. He suddenly knows, and if he's not supposed to know it, he forgets.
Fair enough. Now, I've referred to this show as being like many times as being a soap opera with science fiction. Is that how you feel about it?
I feel about it in these episodes for sure. Yes,
Okay. Now, well, and also we just leapt into a pigsty.
and yeah,
Like, I don't know. Are we going to get a sci-fi next week, or are we going to get a another soap opera?
I think it's probably going to be another soap opera. I think the pilot episode worked so well because there was that element of technicality with knowing how to fly. So that was more of a modern technical episode. Not entire. The whole thing wasn't drama because of that. That gave it
Okay.
some fun, and so
Now,
I'd like to see more stuff like that.
okay, we're 4 episodes in, and Steve is
Hmm.
producer of the Phantasmagorium show, and he has always said that if you are 3 episodes in and you're still engaged, that's when you should continue on. Now that we're 4 episodes in, are you still engaged?
Absolutely. Al is such a fun character. Every move he makes, every gesture and emotion is just. He's just such a good actor that I almost watch it just for him.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Every time he's on screen, I'm happier, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty happy when I'm just watching the screen when Quantum Leap is on, so it's great.
Agreed.
Anyway, so,
And
oh, sorry.
and I would have liked more history notes. We'll see. I know we'll get more of that in the upcoming episodes.
Well, and do you like? And I suppose the historical references, like it's we're living in an age of pop culture references. It's nice to get something that's sort of a historical references, so you can even pretend that you're learning something while you're watching this.
Right.
So you know, I didn't. They
Oh,
they put they put the date. Al says the date of the Watergate break-in. I don't remember what it is.
well, Watergate was a scandal
Yeah, but the
involving the
break-in
Russian
itself.
to steal some type of documents to do with the election.
Yes. Oh man. I'm gonna have to watch it. See, last week I said, should I watch it early so I do the research? And it was like, no, I want to keep the episodes fresh in my mind. I can watch. I watched the first one. I watched Starcrossed twice, so I think I can actually do a research episode and an enjoyment episode for next week.
Hmm.
I'm really having fun, is what I'm
Me
saying.
too.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, me too.
great.
And the science and the history are my favorite aspects of Quantum Leap.
But we're gonna get some pig slopping next week, and I don't know anything about what's happening next week.
Yeah, no, me neither.
All
So
right,
that's
well,
going to be
same as Sam.
nice.
Anyway, let's finish off the chat and leap.
Let's leap to the pig farm.
There we go. Well, no, that's hang on a second. That phrasing. So Dalek says, "Me, Gushy, ha." You know what? I'm going to take that as an acceptance. Dalek, you are our Gushy. You've been drafted. You're our Gushy. Dalek says, "And what's wrong with her being eye candy? I don't have a problem with it. I don't either. I was curious about it. Again, it's 2022, dude. I'm covering all my bases. I don't know. I thought that she was spitting image for Ana de Armas from Blade Runner 2049 and Knives Out. I thought that she was a great actress, and I thought it was an interesting relationship to explore. But, you know, go dancer. So there was obviously, there was objectification, titillation, but there was romance coupled with it. You got to do what you
Yeah.
got to do.
And we're not saying there's anything wrong with any of it.
Of course not. Of course not. Dalek continues to say, "This is the first boxing match in this show, and it's not the last. Is there more boxing? I can't wait." And last but not least, thank you again, Dalek Gushy, for being here. Love Al's hat. I love all his clothes. We're gonna have to figure out which of Al's costumes I'll be able to get for Halloween this year, because I think it'll be a great one.
Hmm. If you can get a Ziggy, that seems like the most important part.
Yeah, it can't be hard. I can get a Ziggy anywhere.
I'm sure you can.
I got 2 phasers, lady.
Hmm. But you don't have a communicator.
No, oh my. All right, fine. How dare you public shame me? Dalek says something interesting happens at the end of next episode, but I won't give it away. Well, thank you. But again, this show came out in 1989. I don't think we're all that concerned about spoilers, because
We are not.
no, it's fine. What happens? Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Jill, where can people find you on these nets that are?
Well, they can find me at the Antiderivative Jill channel, which is
Yep.
the same as my name, where I talk about science fiction. And on Mondays, I go to the Pop Culture Curator channel to talk about Star Trek, the animated series. And you are there. And so is whoever else wants to join that panel. Then on Tuesday, I talk about the original series Star Trek episode. And next Tuesday, we're going to be talking about the original series episode, The Naked Time.
Mhm.
And on Friday, we're going to have a Friday show and have just an open topic show. And after this show, we'll probably talk about what we're going to be talking about there.
I thought we already covered it.
I have a few questions.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll meet you. I'll meet you in the imaging chamber. And then for myself, if I may, thank you for watching the Phantasmagorium show. Once again, we have shirts. You can tip. There's a website that we're going to do something with. And thank you so much for hanging out. And thank you for playing. I've been doing trials I've been days of the week in tribulations, and those have been random streams that if you just want to chill and hang out, we'd be happy to hang out with you. On Wednesday, we're going to be finalizing our Kill Bill Volume 2, where we'll be discussing Kill Bill Volume 2 on Bullets, Blades, and Babes with Black Phillip Alvarez. And yeah. Oh, and also next week, we're going to be talking about episodes 5 and 6 of Quantum Leap in the Loop. Is that it? Is that all I have?
Indeed. Yes. And I look forward to all of those things.
Okay. Well, great. And I suppose don't forget after this, what is going on Clobbering Times?
Yes, Clobbering Times right now is having his Clobbering Times Clubhouse with Mark D with the C and Raquel Briggs, and they just have the most fun all night talking about both nerd and geek stuff. So go check them out right now if you haven't. If you
Absolutely. And thank you
like
so
nerd
much.
and geek things.
And thank you so much for Dalek being here, Stephen Ransom being here. Thank you. Pleasant Valley Picker, thank you, man. Just catch up with the Quantum Leap shows, and you can jump on whenever you want. Dalek, you're more than welcome if you want to talk about an episode. Black Phillip Alvarez, thank you for being here. Carol, and I think that Smirk the Alien, it has a fantastic show. Go check out that channel. Rebellious Pastry, thank you so much for being here. I guess we have to leap.
Let's see.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Say the thing.
Oh boy.